Hello everyone, Yudi here. On behalf of the entire AUC Talks channel, I would like to apologize to you guys for the smoke detector situation we're having. We've read all of your comments and we love taking on board all of your constructive criticism, but unfortunately the solution hasn't been found yet, but soon we'll have it. I promise we will have it fixed for you guys. But on the meantime, we have pre-recorded some great videos that unfortunately have a bit of the sound coming off, so I'd just like to put this statement right here to apologize in regards to that, but I hope it doesn't take too much away from your enjoyment. And thank you so much for subscribing to our channel, liking and commenting. We appreciate that so much, and hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Thank you very much.
We are very proud to announce UMP Trading is an official partner with a proven profit track record.
Yeah, if you want great returns on your investments, be sure to check out UMP Trading.
Hello, welcome back to another video. I'm joined here by Shrey and Dylan, making his return to yet another video. Unfortunately, we're not here with our usual lineup of Yuri and Braden because there has been some problems, but you know, we're going to keep it going with us three, and today we're going to be talking about two players. First, we're going to start off with a newly transferred player. It's Balogun joining AS Monaco from Arsenal, finally leaving right before deadline day. So we're going to get into to see how he'll fit into the Monaco lineup. We're going to predict to see how he does for the season, and yeah, we're going to see. We're just going to discuss to see how he can fit into their style of play and how impactful he can be. So we're going to start off with Shrey. Shrey, what are your thoughts on this move for Balogun, and how do you see this panning out for him?
Yeah, I do think this is a great move. I think we should keep in mind that he wanted to return to France, so this move is also according to his own wishes. So last year, we all know how Balogun's season went. He was at Rennes, scored over 20 goals. It was an incredible season, breakout season. He cemented himself as our number one striker, in my opinion, and really one of the best young forwards in the world. So now he's here at Monaco. We don't know how their formation is going to be. Right now, they're playing with one up top. They're playing with Ben Yedder, but he has some allegations which maybe not be appropriate to talk about on YouTube, so we're gonna skip that. So they had Embolo and Ben Yedder last season. They played two up top, but with Embolo out for a long time, they've been playing with Ben Yedder up top. But look, with Balogun here, they're spending 45 million. French teams don't spend this much on a player to be a bench player or to be a squad rotational player. I think he's gonna start right away, whether that be in a two-man formation or even dislodging Ben Yedder, which I know sounds crazy. I think he's going to get tons of playing time. I think this is an excellent move. And honestly, Monaco's a really good team. They're going to challenge for the league title, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Yeah, it seems like, Balogun is going to, probably ease his way through into the lineup. But yeah, moving on. Dylan, what are your thoughts on this transfer for Balogun, and what do you see happening for him this season?
Yeah, I like it. Personally, I wish he went to Inter Milan because I thought that was the best destination for him in terms of a step up league-wise and team-wise, because I think obviously there's a natural hole to be filled in that Inter Milan starting 11 from Lukaku still. And you can slot right into next to Lautaro Martinez. But I do think Monaco's a good move for him. Obviously, it's the same league in which he scored 20-plus goals in last year. So obviously that's a good start, and then it just really depends on what happens with Ben Yedder, because you can either play him next to Ben Yedder or play him solely up top. But I don't think he's going to get benched at all. I think he's going to start every single game no matter what. I think if they're going to go with one striker up top, I think then they would have to sit Ben Yedder for the main part, just because of his age. Ben Yedder's kind of getting up there in age. But Balogun obviously scoring 20 goals when you're that young, it's pretty impressive. And I believe this is also the most expensive departure in Arsenal history as well. And I was going through their list of kind of their top five, and it's pretty solid, honestly. Van Persie went on to have success with Manchester United. He was fifth. Fabregas had success at Barcelona. They sold him. Alexis Sanchez is a different story. Did not have success at United. Anelka was sold to Real Madrid at 20. I would say that was a decent move. Same thing with Oxlade-Chamberlain for 38 million to Liverpool. That was the most expensive before Balogun was sold. But I think the Oxlade-Chamberlain deal was pretty solid. I mean, he probably didn't turn out to be what a lot of people thought he was going to be, but he was a solid rotational player for them, making Premier League title and Champions League title. So I do think this transfer Balogun will be really solid for him. I just don't know how long he'll stay there, because I think it's like a Jonathan David situation, because he came over and David's been kind of stuck there as well, and with Lille. And so you just don't know how long Balogun's going to be there, because I think he needs to move to a better league sooner rather than later. But this is a good move for him for right now.
Yeah, that sounds that's a very good input in Dylan. And all right, so it's my turn to give my thoughts on Balogun. I'm going to make it short and sweet. I feel like this is a really good deal. Like you mentioned earlier, Dylan, I would have preferred for him to also go to Inter Milan, but fortunately, Arsenal weren't budging with their asking price, and Inter, they're not a club well known for splashing cash on players, especially a player that just had a breakout season in Balogun's case last year with Rams. And it was so unlucky, because literally Joaquin Correa just left Inter Milan, and that would have really worked in Balogun's favor. But a move with AS Monaco is definitely still a solid move. We know that very well that Balogun is familiar with Ligue 1. He knows how the league works, how they play, the pace, and definitely this will be a good move for him. And I see him staying for like maybe 2 seasons max. I wouldn't say a season, because I don't think he's going to take Monaco as a stepping stone. But yeah, he'll definitely be a crucial player for the season. We can expect him to put up the same numbers like he did from last season. He'll definitely start over Ben Yedder, since the allegations, and Real and Bolo injured, so that's going to work in his favor. Boadu, he's not normally used a lot frequently, so yeah, he'll definitely slot in. He'll have support with players like Golovin, Takumi Minamino as well. You can even throw in Fofana, Justin Martins. But yeah, it'll definitely be a good move in his favor. So yeah, we all agreed that this is going to be a good move for him. We'll hope to see how this all pans out. All right, moving on, we're gonna talk about to see how this move will affect his chances of being a starter with the national team. So yeah, we'll start again with you, Shrey. How do you see this impacting his transition over to the national team?
Yeah, I really don't think this affects his status with the national team at all. I think he cemented ourselves as our number one. And if there's some fans that would argue that, hey, he hasn't cemented himself as his number one, I mean, just look at our other options. Josh Sargent was killing it for North. He just got injured. We don't know how long he'll be out for, or even how well he'll perform once he's back. And Ricardo Pepi, he's not starting for PSV, not at least this season, which is okay. But look, Luke de Jong has that spot cemented for PSV. So even if Balogun struggles initially, or even for the whole season, which again, I don't think he will, but even if he does, I still do think he's cemented himself as our number one. So I don't think it affects it at all, really.
All right, moving on, Dylan.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. I think he's pretty clear-cut the number one choice. I think for me, I think it would just be depending on how Pepe does and how much game time that equates to for the national team. But I just don't see Balogun being unseated from that number one striker position. I think he's very clearly our number 9 for the future. So, yeah, I can see him scoring 15 plus goals easily. I don't know if he'll get 20 again, but this is a better team. I'm just kind of scared about that defense right now, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know if he'll score 20 again, but I think 15 is definitely a realistic chance for him.
All right. Yeah, good takes from both of you guys, and yeah, I'll just give my opinion about this as well. And yeah, in my opinion, like this will 100% not affect his status with the national team, given that he's more in favor to get minutes over Pepe. As Trace mentioned, Pepe's not getting minutes so far with PSV. Luke de Jong, his experience is just working in his favor. His adaptability with PSV, but in Balogun's case, his spot for both of them, they're pretty much sealed. Like with Monaco and with the national team, we saw what he can do with the national team. He's already settling great with the players. He's combining well. he's adapting, he's doing his thing, and that's just gonna work even more with Monaco with the quality players that they have. And yeah, Josh Sargent, I would have maybe said that he can give us a competition, but unfortunately he's injured. Haji Wright is pretty much wiped out with the national team now, even though he'll be scoring. Greg doesn't seem to favor him. And Jesus Ferreira, yeah, he doesn't stand a chance competing with Balogun. Yeah, sorry, Jesus, but you're not going to see any minutes if you're going to have Balogun in your way. But yeah, overall, it's just going to work even more brilliantly with Monaco now. It will help him with his form, everything with Balogun. So yeah, that wraps up with Balogun. Let's move on to Tyler Adams, who's pretty much already signed his Bournemouth contract. So yeah, the Chelsea move didn't work out. So now he's found himself a new club, newly promoted Bournemouth. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Dylan, let's start with you this time.
Okay, personally, even though he's going to play almost every game again, I don't like it just because Bournemouth are going to be a relegation battle club again. So, I mean, he's going to be in the same situation as he was last year with Leeds. So, for me, I think he could have done better, but obviously it's just because the Chelsea thing kind of fell through at the last moment and he didn't have really anywhere else to go because he's definitely not championship quality. He's easily Premier League quality. So I think he just was trying to find a club last minute. But I don't think they're going to get relegated, though. I think there's definitely worse clubs, at least 3 worse clubs than Bournemouth. But I think he definitely should have gone somewhere that is a better club and that he would have played a little bit more. Because I'm looking at kind of like the table right now. I think Burnley are worse than them. I think Luton Town are worse than them. Sheffield may be worse than them. Everton are worse than them. Those 4 currently sit below him. And then just depending on how the season goes, because I think Wolves was predicted by a lot of people to go down, but they played so super well against Manchester United. Didn't come away with that win though, but it'll be interesting to see how the season plays out. I think Kluivert coming into that team is going to be huge for them, at least to keep them afloat and not be relegated. And same thing with Adams too. I think he's going to stop the gaps for Bournemouth. I think he's going to do a really good job like he did last year when he was playing for Leeds. I do think this team was worse than Leeds last year, though, but I just think there's a lot more worse teams in the Premier League this season. So I think they'll stay up.
Shrey, how do you predict this transfer will work in Tyler Adams' favor, and how do you see him working in this Bournemouth team?
Yeah, I still do like this move quite a bit just because, as Dylan said, there are worse teams in the Premier League than Bournemouth right now. And he already mentioned Luton are worse than them. I think Sheffield are worse than them, definitely. So those are 2 teams, in my opinion, that are 100% worse than Bournemouth this season. So, look, they just need to not be 18th place, and that'll be good, in my opinion. But, look, in terms of this team, it's not that great. I think it's probably on the level of how Leeds were last year's, maybe slightly better because of players like Kluivert that Dylan mentioned, and even Solanke, he's a decent player. And players like Christian Rothwell, they're all right, but Tyler Adams is 100% an upgrade on both of them. And he's definitely going to bring this team to the next level. I mean, we saw what an essential part of this Leeds team that Adams was. And thank God, by the way, thank God he did not move to Chelsea. Like, Jeff, I know you're a Chelsea fan, but thank God he did not move to Chelsea.
I agree.
Like, that would have been horrible, and honestly, I just hope we have no Americans at Chelsea, like, ever, honestly. Like, I'm sorry, Jeff, I hope we have no Americans.
At least while Todd Bowley's there, because I'm so confused on what his strategy is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't blame you guys. Yeah, I'm glad Adams didn't go there either. All right, yeah.
But yeah, anyways, back to Adams. I do think this is a good move. I think Bournemouth will stay up, so I am happy that he moved there.
All right, thank you, Shrey. I definitely agree. Let's hope, even though from a Chelsea fan, let's hope that no other players, step foot in their club. Obviously, Slonina, he's owned by Chelsea, but it wouldn't be hard for him, to start or even, put in a bad performance, given that we're having some issues at the goalkeeper position, even though we just signed one. But yeah, moving on. Yeah, I definitely like this move from Adams. It's not the move that, I'm pretty sure I speak for everyone by saying this isn't the move that we expected or wanted, but he has to make do with what he has offered to him. Unfortunately, he couldn't go to Chelsea, but like I mentioned earlier, it's better that he didn't go. going to be a starter, and he'll most likely get ruined by our mess of a club that we're currently in right now. But yeah, I definitely say Bournemouth isn't the worst move in the world. This would just up his experience with the Premier League. And yeah, Bournemouth newly promoted. I feel like Adams will definitely be a crucial player to their team. For survival of the Premier League this season. So far, obviously predicted they're not doing well. They drew to West Ham though, which isn't as bad, but they did lose their last 2 games. But with Adams's inclusion, with Adams's inclusion, he'll definitely help this team fight for survival. I'm predicting them maybe finishing a little above the relegation zone, somewhere in mid-table. That about wraps it up. It was a good session. But you did pretty good without Yuri and Braden. There has been a bit twists and turns in this video, especially on my end. I apologize for that, and apologize to everyone that we're not expecting me to be the host. But if this situation happens again, maybe I'll be host again, or maybe we can just get Shrey to host instead. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Next time we'll do a video, we hope we get the typical lineup that you guys see. But yeah, thanks a lot, Shrey. Thank you, Dylan. Make sure to like and subscribe, and keep those post notifications on. And we'll see you again next time. All right, bye, guys.